On this special edition, we will take a look at the new homecoming royalty, as well as homecoming activities like the Singing Bee and Loco for Hoco.
Later, we will hear from Aaron Mary and Karl Ludwig about rock football and their rivalry with IUP.
Also a recap from the Media Hall of Fame that took place on Friday night. All this and more on Around the Rock Homecoming Edition. Hello and welcome to Around the Rock Homecoming Edition. I'm Haley Potter.
And I'm Rob McNerney. This year, WSRU-TV's e-board divided up to co-produce Around the Rock specials. Haley and I collaborated to bring you this homecoming episode.
Homecoming has a lot of events such as the Singing Bee and Glow Run, leading up to the weekend of the Pep Rally, football game, and gathering of alum.
WSRU-TV was live at the parade, catching all of the action, from the various floats to the homecoming court, band, and color guard. The weather didn't exactly cooperate, but that didn't stop the crowd from coming out to Main Street.
The crowd at the parade also got to see the painted windows on display. Paint the Town took place earlier in the week and gave various organizations the opportunity to showcase their clubs and artistic skills.
So we do this to showcase our fraternity spirit and sorority spirit, as well as Slippery Rock spirit leading up to homecoming.
Also throughout the week, the new homecoming candidates campaigned for a spot at the Rock Royalty Court. Haley had the chance to talk with some of them.
2018 was a big year for me winning homecoming royalty. I recently had an opportunity to write a piece for the Rocket on what it means to be rock royalty. So we took it to see what being royalty means to some of the 2019 homecoming candidates. And here's what they had to say.
What it would mean to me to be homecoming royalty is more than just the title. I think that it's just a much more deeper meaning, because I think homecoming royalty means that you are an expression of all students on campus. So it's not just the title, it's not the tiara, it's not the sash, it's not the parade. It's being able to identify with all students on campus and being a good encompassing vision of what each student means on Slippery Rock. So we are a very diverse campus, but I think just with organizations you're involved in, activities, volunteer work, being an overall great student is something that many students can resonate with, and being able to express that through the title of homecoming royalty is such a great idea.
It'd be a really great opportunity for me to represent my organization, the Marching Pride, on a level that's a little bit bigger than just within our organization.
It would mean to me that just show my love and pride for Slippery Rock. I live down in Virginia, and so I don't really know many people here when I first came here, but I have joined Green and White. I've joined Tri Sigma since I've been here, and it's just I have such love and pride for the school.
When I first came to Slippery Rock University, homecoming was just something that I thought was very interesting and very lively and showed a lot of school spirit. So it's something I always wanted to participate in. I just never knew if I was going to really fall through with it. 4 years later, here we are. So I'm having a great time, but to me, it's all about showing a good impression, because I've always held myself to a high standard with my reputation. So just like being on, like just campaigning and being on royalty would just show that, you know, I made a positive impression on campus and have made people smile and just really enjoy being a Slippery Rock student.
Over the weekend, Leroy Cooper and I had to give up our reign as the 2018 homecoming royalty.
Homecoming weekend festivities began on Friday night at the Pep Rally. We were there to capture it all. Let's take a look.
On Friday night was the Pep Rally, where I had the opportunity to announce the 2019 homecoming court.
The homecoming court included Olivia Bozanos, Ignacio Nacho Cicernos Jr., Trey Duyon, Kamani Farmer, Celine Halt, Elena Stroud, Nichelle Trawicks, and Eric Warmbean. The other 2018 homecoming royalty winner, Leroy Cooper, reflected on how he spent the year as royalty and how he was excited to announce the 2019 court.
It has meant the absolute world to me. I love just being a positive role model, everyone on this campus, and try and just convince more people to get more involved and just, you know, go for it and see what happens. And I'm excited to see all the bright and shining faces come on the stage and follow our footsteps.
The Pep Rally also included an introduction to the football team, performances by the cheerleaders, band, step team, rock twirlers, and jam rock, and concluded with a bonfire and fireworks. The electricity went out as the Pep Rally was about to start, shutting down the bouncy houses, but everyone came together to make it work. The court was announced with megaphones rather than microphones, and some of the dance teams performed their music from the band playing rather than their CD players. All in all, there was a great turnout to the 2019 Pep Rally.
The new homecoming royalty winners are Ignacio Nacho Cicernos Jr. and Kamani Farmer. I had the opportunity to speak with Nacho a few days after his win.
It was actually very surreal because, like, You know, campaigning to get on court was something that I've always wanted to do coming to Slippery Rock University, and then actually winning it just was absolutely amazing. And it really helped me, you know, really show that, you know, I made a good impression here at Slippery Rock University. I made people happy, I made people smile, and I actually had the opportunity to give back. I do respect Slippery Rock University's efforts to have a more inclusive homecoming royalty. It really allows, you know, different individuals from different backgrounds to have the opportunity to truly showcase and win. So it's something that, once again, makes Slippery Rock University a more humble and welcoming institution. I'm a confident individual who isn't going to allow a comment nor a crown, even though it is getting changed to something more preferred, define myself or my academic/extracurricular accomplishments.
I am now joined in the studio by Kamani Farmer, one of the newly elected Rock royalty. Welcome, Kamani. How does it feel? It's been a few days since you run Rock royalty. Tell me a little bit about how you feel.
Being in this new position has been amazing. I've had a lot of students approach me about congratulating me on my campaigning and me and Nacho's win. We really looked at this platform and we're trying to figure out how we can change things a little bit different as we do had a change in the title from Homecoming King and Queen to royalty. So we're just trying to figure out new aspects to go to.
So what are some of those? What does it mean to be royalty rather than king or queen?
So royalty, I feel is more inclusive for those who do not identify as either male or female. So I feel that's an important thing to express and get out to the public of the reasons why we changed it from Homecoming King and Queen to royalty. I feel a lot of people in the community outside of Slippery Rock hasn't really understanding that, but the students at Slippery Rock has been very supportive.
That's great. And talk a little bit about your campaign and why you ran for royalty to begin with.
Oh, well, for homecoming in general, I feel is about the past students coming together and seeing what the current students are doing and the services that we are providing for our students currently. The organizations that I ran on behalf was Black Action Society and SRSGA, our student government, which I serve as the Vice President of Campus Outreach. I feel I have been of service to the university and making changes on the university's campus, and I feel being elected into my royalty position, that was just a testament to the students, from the students telling me that I'm doing a good job with that.
And I agree, you are doing a great job, and
Thank
congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Aside from just crowning the new royalty, the Rock also had a big game against IUP. After this break, we will throw it over to Aaron Mary to hear about the football game, and we will have a special guest joining us to talk about the long-lived IUP rivalry. Stay tuned.
WSRU-TV News is the student-run news station for Slippery Rock University. The studio is held in the Maltby Center on SRU's campus. WSRU-TV produces multiple shows, including Around the Rock, A Week in Review, the SGA Update, the Rocket Sports Report, and the Weekly Bite. All shows on WSRU-TV are anchored, written, produced, and edited by SRU students. Students have the opportunity to learn valuable skills in the field of television broadcasting. WSRU-TV. Your campus, your community, your station.
For homecoming, it's typically tradition to schedule your biggest rival. This year, though, was a little bit more special, as number 9, Slippery Rock hosted number 16, IUP. Slippery Rock won the game against IUP 45-42, just edging out the Crimson Hawks. However, statistically, Slippery Rock lost in a lot of key areas. Indiana had more first downs, passing yards, and total offense. They averaged 6.2 yards a play, just 0.2 more than the Rock, yet they could not win. I have to give a lot of credit to the offensive line and the running backs, as if it weren't for them, SRU wouldn't have won any offensive category. SRU rushed for 230 yards, their most since week 1 against Wayne State.
Man, was it a day in Slippery Rock. From the homecoming parade, to the tailgate, to the moment we've all been waiting for. Number 9 Slippery Rock versus number 16 IUP. The Rock and the Hawk have been looking forward to this game, as in the past 2 seasons, each away team has spoiled homecoming for the other. This year was different though. IUP kicked the ball to SRU to start the game and held the Rock from getting a first down on their opening drive. However, the Rock returned the favor and forced IUP to punt on their first drive. After that, however, the scoring started. Slippery Rock got on the board first, as Dinkins rushed into the end zone for a 2-yard touchdown. IUP gave us a quick pick 6 as Tristan McDonald returned the touchdown for SRU, putting them up 14-0. However, McDonald was hurt on the play and was helped off the field with an expected leg injury. The Rock's defense continued to hold steady and shut down IUP's offense. At the end of the first quarter, the Rock was leading 17-0. IUP started the second quarter off, finding the end zone for the first time in the game, cutting the Rock's lead to just 10. But the Slippery Rock offense wasn't stopping there. They scored 14 more points as Rivers rushed for a touchdown and Dinkins scored again. As the second quarter winded down, the game started changing. With 3:45 left in the second, IUP managed to find the end zone again, making the score 31-14 at half. However, they'd also receive a ball after halftime. This is when the Rock's defense hiccuped and let IUP back in the game. IUP scored to open the third, making it a 10-point game. SRU would score again as Rivers connected with Jermaine Wynn for the touchdown. However, IUP didn't stop fighting. With a lot of scrappy plays and some penalties coming on both sides, IUP scored 14 unanswered, making the score 38-35 with about 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Then was in the hands of the Rock's offense. The drive was very intense on each and every play, especially the 4th and 1 QB sneak and the nearly impossible play of Rivers staying alive after dodging 2 tackles in the backfield and finding Sing-Q Sweeting for a 13-yard reception. After the catch, the drive, and the win was capped off with a rushing touchdown by Charles Snortway, as the Rock would eventually win 45-42. After the game, the Rockets' Karl Ludwig interviewed both Roland Rivers and Charles Snortway about their performances.
And run me through that last possession there when you guys had the game icing touchdown at the end.
Yeah, we knew we had to take some time off of the clock and put together a good drive to put the game away. And we kind of relied on our offensive line that drive and pounded it down their throats, man. Had that clutch third down conversion, Sing-Q making a great catch with the scramble drill and finish it off with Charles in the end zone. It was a great drive, and we practiced those type situations. And, we came out here and was able to execute when needed.
Yeah. Charles, for you today, your biggest game as a Rock athlete,
Yes, sir.
123-yard touchdown at the end. Why do you think you were so prepared to play today?
Man, I just felt like going into the game, I have a job to do, and I just felt like, the coaches, I had, 16, something like that, 16, 17 touches. So
20 carries today.
20 carries. So, it speaks volume right there. My coach had, had trust and belief in me, and I just wanted to do my job for my team, do my role, something that I knew I could do for this team, and, we showed it out here.
Yeah, definitely. And then just one last question. When you guys when they came back in the end, the second quarter, before second half there, what did you tell the team coming into that huddle before the game icing touchdown drive?
Just to take it one play at a time and to trust each other. We knew it was going to be a ball game. That was a great football team, and we knew that we stayed together and played for each other every snap that we come out victorious. It was a great night, great atmosphere, the fans there, and just a beautiful night, a beautiful day to play some football.
Looking ahead to this weekend's game against Edinburgh University, if the Rock can maintain their rushing game as well as getting back to the passing game, they will be the best team in the PSAC and can find themselves back in the D2 playoffs again. Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and after this, we will hear from Karl Ludwig from the Rocket about the rivalry with IUP.
Do you remember when you were told not to play with fire? You were told to be quiet. When they said caring wasn't in your generation's DNA. When they said stop playing with toys. Do you remember when they said stop dreaming? At Slippery Rock, we inspire the dreams, the noise, the caring to challenge you to be your best. Now and in the future, Slippery Rock University. Experience the difference.
Welcome back. I'm joined with Karl Ludwig from the Rocket. How are you doing, Karl?
Hi, Aaron. Thanks for having me on the show today.
Yeah, no problem. So let's kind of like look back, IUP's all-time history against SRU. How many games have they played? When did the rivalry kind of get started?
So the first game ever was in 1906.
Okay.
It was a 44-0 Rock win.
Okay.
And in the years after that, it kind of skewed toward IUP a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But in the past 20-ish years or so, it's been a much more back-and-forth rivalry. In fact, the past 2 years, the Rock has won both games.
Okay.
And dating back 7 years or so, it's been 5 wins for the Rock, which was only 2 for IUP. So.
Okay. So it's kind of seeing that, like the Rock's kind of getting closer.
Yes, yeah. So the overall record is 50, 42, and 2 for
Okay.
IUP. So in the recent years, it has been a bit more even for Slippery Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Not quite there yet, but we're getting back into the picture.
Okay. So kind of looking at the coaching change with Sean Lutz, do you think that Sean Lutz kind of had a good push towards that?
I think he continued what former coach George Mahalik was doing.
Okay.
I think both of them have been great at playing well against IUP.
Okay.
Dr. Mahalik, the old coach, he was known as Dr. Evil down in Indiana.
Okay.
So he obviously had some success down there. And I think Coach Lutz is doing a great job continuing that.
Okay, cool. So if we have to look back, what's the biggest game in the rivalry to this date?
Honestly, the game this year might be the biggest in at least recent memory.
Okay.
With the win now, we're 6-0, heading into the back half of the schedule. We have Cal U coming up in a few weeks, and before that we have Clarion and Edinburgh.
Yeah.
If we can win those games, we'll be 10-0 heading into the PSAC championship game.
Yeah.
If we win that game, we have a very good shot of being in the Division II playoffs and also potentially a championship game.
No, yeah, I agree. And like we said, we kind of looked at just how that last drive formulated for Slippery Rock. Roland really was just incredible, getting that first down on 4th down, and as well as the scramble play that probably shouldn't have worked in Slippery Rock's favor.
Yeah, Roland's been incredible this year. As of right now, he's the leading candidate for the Harlan Hill Award, which is the best player in Division II.
Mm-hmm.
If he keeps it up, who knows what's going to happen this year. Against IUP, it wasn't his strongest game, but he still, in the last drive, he made some incredible plays to keep the Rock in it and get the go-ahead score there.
Yeah.
So if he can keep it up, even when he's not playing up to his best standard, this team can be very hard to stop.
Yeah, I agree, and especially with the fact that the rushing team kind of just stepped up. I know that we were ecstatic with just the stats when it came to rushing.
Yeah, Charles Norway was incredible against IUP. So.
Okay, yeah, cool. All right, well, thank you for joining me, Karl. We're going to toss it back over to Haley and Ron at the desk.
Thanks, Aaron, and go Rock. There are plenty of events leading up to homecoming weekend that we covered last week. Rock the Block also took place on Saturday. WSRU-TV's Sammy Amato was there and says there were games, bouncy houses, performances, and alumni tents. Anyone was welcome to attend.
The Singing Bee took place on Wednesday night and gave students the opportunity to come out and sing on stage and try to guess the lyrics. Winners of the Singing Bee earned prizes and the pride of saying they were the Singing Bee champions. All of the songs were based around the circus theme of homecoming.
Loco for Hoco is a tradition that we certainly did not want to miss out on. On Thursday during Common Hour, I took it to the quad to get Loco for Hoco. Another traditional event that happens during homecoming week is Loco for Hoco, which took place this past Thursday in the quad. The quad was full of all sorts of activities to partake in, including an inflatable wipeout course, photo ops with Rocky, a dunk tank, and a live performance from all the rest. I talked to Morgan Meyer to get her opinion on what makes Loco for Hoco so special.
Biggest thing is it's a free event for all and any students, and there's always giveaways, novelties, and this year we made it kind of unique with interactive stuff, so we have an inflatable, the dunk tank, and a caricature.
The spirit board painting from earlier that week was also featured at the event.
We have a really good marketing team, and they always promote it on social media, Twitter, Instagram. Most of our events are all free, so they just have to show up and they can take all the giveaways and just hang out.
I'm glad the weather held up for the event, and on Thursday night, Ron and I had a blast at Operation Glow, where we got to watch a glow run take place and dance in a foam pit. Take a look. And the runners have all started for the annual Operation Glow as part of Homecoming Week. We're here at the starting line, and I'll throw it over to Ron at the end for the finish line.
Thanks, Haley. As you can see, everyone is having a great time at Operation Glow, and it is a perfect way to kick off homecoming weekend. UPB has been hosting Operation Glow for a few years now. It's a great time for people to come out and have a good time with friends.
Are you guys ready for the glow run?
Yeah!
Why are you here? Why are you running this?
To be with friends. Yeah.
Are you gonna like run fast, or are you just doing it for fun?
We're gonna beat everybody.
Just for the fun of it, to keep running. Ever since I was in high school, running was just my thing.
And on the other hand, some people run it for real. Some members of our track team did the mile in a little under 5 minutes.
It was good, it was fun. Came out here, ran a fast time, people were with us, so it was a good time.
It's just a fun time. It's a nice way to just get outside, get some exercise. It's a lovely night, so why not?
After the run, everyone had the opportunity to dance by the stage, get foam shot at them, and play with glow sticks. The event had a great turnout and was held outside of the Student Center this year. DJ Audaz played at the event and the crowd went wild.
Let's go!
I'm glad we got to attend such a great event, Haley.
Me too. And speaking of a fun event, homecoming is always a time for SRU alum to reunite. And media students from past and present did just that.
The Media Hall of Fame took place on Friday, and WSRU-TV was there for the symposium and Hall of Fame dinner. Let's take a look.
Charlie Slate makes my induction even more complete. My tag team partner is joining me. Charlie and I became friends quite quickly once he arrived on campus. Then again, it's the way it was with anybody who got to meet him. We all had gained a good friend, and I had gained another brother.
4 years in, and we're still honoring and awarding SRU alumni and former media students for their work here on campus and their work after they left Slippery Rock.
What, maybe you do need the memory foam slippers, because once she called me and asked if I could be a hand model, and I said, you don't remember that I have short fingers? I can't be a hand model.
The night was full of laughs, tears, food, and memories as alumni shared those memories along with their lifelong friends. 10 people were inducted into the Media Hall of Fame as they ranged from recent graduates to alumni back when it was Slippery Rock State College.
I'm so grateful that I was able to leave any kind of lasting impression on you guys, that you felt that I was deserving of this award, so thank you.
My line of work tonight was the first game of the National League Championship Series. Pirates aren't in it, as you can see. Half the table back there, my friends from the Pirates are here. Craig, Mark Garda, Terry Rogers, who was an alum from '09. They came up. Thank you very much. So yeah, I would rather be other place than here, but I'm here, so I'm very, very happy to be here.
The Media Hall of Fame was a total blast from the past and present, as so many incredibly talented media professionals were in attendance. Next year, we look forward to the Communication Department hosting the event. For WSRU-TV News, I'm Aaron Mary.
Congratulations to everyone who was inducted into the Hall of Fame.
And also congrats to the Rock football team, Nacho and Kamani, and all of the various organizations that made 2019 Homecoming a success. That is all we have for you today.
Stay tuned next month for Around the Rock Sports Edition, Thankful for Sports.
Until then, this has been your Around the Rock Homecoming Show. I'm Haley Potter.
And I'm Ron McNerney. For WSRU-TV News, your campus,
your community,
your station.